Hey, you're watching Big Lou Barbecue. Now, things I want to do. What I want to do today is making Tortilla Española. La Tortilla Española. Now, you may be thinking tortillas, and that's bread, right? Like corn tortillas or flour tortillas, like flatbread in Mexico. No, in Spain, y'all, in Europe, a tortilla is an omelet. Specifically, a potato omelet. And they got tortilla de patatas, that's a potato omelet, and then tortilla española, that's got onions in it. That's what we're going to be making today. No cheese in this omelet, okay? No cheese in this omelet. Hey, I've got a couple dozen fresh yard eggs like that right there, and I'll be using about half a dozen of these larger brown ones for this. You need half a dozen eggs. You need 3 potatoes. The thin-skinned potatoes, like the red ones and the yellow ones, they do better because they're a little more, they describe them as waxy instead of starchy, but I'm using russets because russets is what I have, and I often make this with russets, and I like it with russets. But if you want to use a more traditional one, the yellow skinned potatoes I think are a little more traditional. The potato size, they say fist size. Well, I got big old hands, man. They call me Big Lou for a reason, right? So basically, if I can grab it like that, that's about the size potato I want. I got, you know, these 3 potatoes, all right? Next time you see the potatoes, I'm gonna have them already peeled, and I'll show you how we slice them, all right? And you're gonna need an onion, all right? You're gonna need an onion. I got a yellow onion I'm gonna cut up, and half a dozen eggs, a little salt, and some olive oil, about half a cup of olive oil, and no, about a cup of olive oil. A cup of olive oil, not half a cup. Why did I say half a cup? A cup of olive oil, all right? I'll talk to you more about the olive oil in just a few minutes. Anyway, let's get this Tortilla Española, the Spanish omelet, cooked. All right, so I peeled the potatoes, and what you want to do is you want to quarter them like that long ways, and then you want to slice them like this. You want thin slices, not too thick, just about twice as thick as my little knife edge there. And once they're all cut up, they should look about like that. All right, now I've got a yellow onion, and I know they're white on the inside, but anyway, I'm slicing it thin. I think white onion may be more traditional anyway. And slice it like that. Now I've got this Lodge Carbon Steel Skillet. This is the 10-inch skillet. And I've got olive oil. Now that was olive oil I'd used the last time I made tortillas, and that's Tortillas Españolas. So I'd saved that olive oil and put it in the fridge. So that's why you saw it kind of hard like that. Then I added another half cup to it. Okay, you saw me throw the onions in there, and we got the onions frying up. And while they're frying up, I'm gonna mix up those half dozen brown eggs right there. You can see the size of my hands because I can hold all 6 of them. I want to continue to stir the onions, and when they begin to brown, when the onions begin to brown, put the potatoes in there. I want to make sure the potatoes are all coated in that olive oil, and they're going to fry 10 to 15 minutes or so till they're done. And you can kind of tell when they're done because the oil is going to bubble up like that. And I could smash them through with my little silicone spatula there, so I know that these potatoes are done. I pull them off the fire and let the boiling come down. I add a little salt to the eggs, and then I take a slotted spoon and I drain the oil like that. And I just dump these in there. If you want to just dump them out of the pan into a strainer and then dump them from the strainer into the bowl, that's fine. But I just use this slotted spoon for one. And go ahead and just, get them all in the slotted spoon. I'll let the oil drain out. And like I said, I'm going to save that oil in that little mason jar till the next time I use it and add more oil to it till I have a full cup, all right? So you fry up the onions, you fry up the potatoes with the onions, you let them cool just a little bit, but they're still quite warm here, and then you drain those out and you put them in with the eggs, okay? And then I'm gonna stir them around like this, and they're really kind of soupy right here, real kind of, you can see it's real kind of soupy. But before I put them in there, I drained the oil out of the pan, and you can see it's gotten thick, all right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and dump them back into this pan. I've got a thin sheet of olive oil on the pan. I'm using this Lodge Carbon Steel Skillet, and it doesn't stick, because I've got it well seasoned. You may want to use a Teflon one, God forbid, if you want to, but don't use something that sticks, all right? As that cooks, go ahead with your silicone spatula there. This is my Thermalworks spatula, and make sure the edges are releasing every so often. But just, basically just leave it alone. Don't stir it or anything. And once you get the edges where you can see that the whole thing is about ready to come out, it's time to flip it. Now what I do is I slide it out onto a plate. Some people put the plate over the pan and then flip it like that. And then I put the pan over the plate and turn it over like this, okay? And that's just like that. It's in the pan, and you want to kind of puff up the edges a little bit. Hit the edges and give that classics Tortilla Española round shape. And once the edges get to where you can't puff them up anymore and it's kind of firm, you can dump it out, slide it out and onto a plate just like that, and you're ready to cut this Tortilla Española. These things are so delicious, and they make a good supper, they make a good lunch, and even a good breakfast. Eat them however you want to. All right, just look at those slices right there of this Tortilla Española. All right, Tortilla Española. All right, that's Spanish omelet. I know tortillas are omelets in Spain. Mexico, they're flatbread with corn or harina. I was gonna say, what's the word? Flour. Couldn't remember the English word. Harina or maíz. You know, tortillas, bread. Spain, omelets. And this is a tortilla española. This is how I do it. I do want to caution you on that flipping thing one more time. I can do mine that way because I've got an induction stove. That plate doesn't get really too hot. If you don't have an induction stove, you probably want to put the plate on top of the pan, turn the pan over, and then slide it back in like that. But you're going to get some egg residue on the plate. Doing it my way, I don't get that. I got the cooked side of the tortilla española on the plate, and then I slide it back in like that. And I can do that because I have an induction stove. I don't think I would do it on like my dad's regular glass top, you know, but you do you. You can take it off the stove and do it over on the counter. But flipping it, it's kind of hard to do with a spatula. It's just hard to do with a spatula, so use a plate. Anyway, there you go. Let's taste test it. Look, one more thing about these Spanish omelets. They don't have to be for breakfast. Breakfast food is normally easy food, like cereal or just scrambled eggs. That's why it's a breakfast food. Got to put a little more work into this. So this makes a good supper and makes a good lunch, you know? And that's how I'm doing it today. This is actually my lunch. Had all these eggs from a colleague at work. She had them in the faculty lounge, and $2 a dozen, and I bought some, y'all. Anyway, let's try it. It's cooled off enough wasting time. I know it's gonna be good. I love these. Just simple ingredients that you're eating. Eggs, potatoes, onions, and of course you got a little salt and a little olive oil. But it's just so good like that. But I do like to put a little bit of maybe Cajun Creole seasoning or hot sauce on it. I usually put hot sauce on these. But just, you know, to show you, I want to tell you something, just do it basic. You don't have to get cheese in it. You don't have to put meat in it. If you do all of that, you're messing up the traditional Tortilla Española, the Spanish omelet. Absolutely wonderful. Didn't hold my fork properly, but, you know, I can't stop eating it. It's really, really good, y'all. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue.